has autism specifically affected Luca?
I don't know the exact answer to that because I've only been with them for a year, or probably less than a year. In Luca's case, he is, because having autism, there's different levels, different types. In Luca's case, socially, he's fine. He can speak and get along well with others. I would say more in his academically, his focus on staying on focus on certain things is his biggest issue, and that's probably what we've been working on the most. Yeah.
So would you say that's probably the hardest thing he's had to deal with, is like academics and stuff like that?
In some way, yeah. Mostly, I think it was mostly just staying on focus for more than a certain period of time, and doing things on his own.
Okay.
Probably the biggest thing, yeah.
So in terms of him being such a social person, we agree that he'd affect more people positively. Would you agree that he more effectively affects people positively than negatively?
Yeah, positively. Yeah, because he's not. I haven't seen a negative side on him. So obviously it's hard to be negative when he's always thinking so positive. Happy. Yeah, he's always in a good mood.
Exactly. Okay. So what is it like working with Luca? Rewarding? What are some takeaways from that?
I think right now, at this point now, it's rewarding. And I would say in the beginning of the year, there was a lot of frustration, trying to get on the same page with obviously his mother, and also trying to figure out what works with Luca and what doesn't. What buttons you can push, what can motivate him, things like that.
So knowing he's one of the most social people, even at the school, regardless of his autism or not, what are some ways that you've seen him overcome the barriers of autism?
I would say, one example, let's say staying on focus, for example. That was one of the issues that I know he's had to deal with. One way we've done was taking breaks every so often, and another one was, a big one was having a set schedule, or set what he's gonna actually do and prepared for a certain class. Example, like he knows what he's gonna do that day, and it was kind of laid out for him. And as long as you keep things on a consistent basis with him, he gets used to the routine and is able to accomplish what he needs to accomplish. But once you start changing it up, obviously, it kind of sets him back a little bit because he doesn't know what he's gonna do. But if you know exactly what he wants, if he knows exactly what he needs to do, he's able to accomplish that and kind of do a lot better in dealing with what he has.
Okay, yeah, for sure. 2 more questions. So we know this video is actually dedicated to you. We're going to show it to him. So is there anything you'd like to say specifically about him and his motivation and just the way that you've grown with him for the past year?
Just to continue growing. From the past, from when I first met him to now, he's doing things on his own. He's being more focused in his class, and he's accomplishing a lot than what he started off with. Doing things on his own, paying attention in class, staying on task for more than 15 minutes. He's doing it for 45 minutes now, an hour, depending on the topic, obviously. But just to continue and not stop, because at this rate, because he's gonna be a senior next year. I think he can do a lot of things on his own without the help of a lot of people, by just continuing to improve, continuing to stay on focus, to listen, to be independent and not depend on anyone around him.
So, and sort of like a broader umbrella for those living around autistic people, what would be the best way to socialize with them, to work with them, and the best way to make them feel part of your society?
Just include them. They're not any different. Yeah, there might be certain issues, regarding a specific child that has autism, but to include them in everything that's going on. That's what's probably the biggest thing that I see with Luca, is that he's included in normal classes, he's included in activities, he's included in anything that's going on in the school. And I think for Luca and even other students, that can be a big, that's a big thing for them. And also for the general, for you guys, for everyone else, that they're exposed to students with autism or even any other type of disability, that they're just like you guys, they're just like everyone else, that they shouldn't be treated separately.
I think that's it.
That's it.